Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me again. I am Ryan Clifton Boland. I want to get right down to it. So this new leader of the newly appointed Ministry of Truth that's created by the Biden administration, Nina Jankowicz, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. It seems evident now that I've discovered that from day one, she has been wanting to censor all conservative voices. And in particular, she wanted Facebook, basically had been lobbying Facebook several years ago, back in 2020, lobbying for Facebook to censor Breitbart News. So here we see that there's evidence that this is all about censoring and silencing the other side, silencing conservative voices. So let's get right into this. Let's look into this. Let's look right into this here. And the title of this article from Breitbart News, surprisingly enough, Biden's Ministry of Truth, Nina Jankowicz, called for Facebook to censor Breitbart. Nina Jankowicz, the chair of the new Disinformation Governance Board in the Department of Homeland Security, wanted Facebook to censor Breitbart News, joining the left's calls for Silicon Valley to censor conservative news outlets in 2019. So I stand corrected. My mistake, I said 2020, it's 2019. So this goes to show you. Jankowicz, 33, whose past statements and songs came under scrutiny after her new job became widely known this week, once promoted the Russian collusion conspiracy theory and denied in 2020 that Hunter Biden's laptop was authentic. She has also called for an increased regulation of free speech on social media. So that goes to show you right then and there. It's not about getting the right information out. It's about getting information out or censoring information that opposes their narrative. So let's continue on. She also called for increased regulation of free speech and social media, calling Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's speech at Georgetown University on free expression, quote, unfortunate, and protested against the inclusion of Breitbart on the platform. Now, here's a couple of her tweets. One says, for the past month, I've been mostly focused on Ukraine-related news. There's been no shortage of tech news, however, and at times I have felt like I might not recognize the internet when I go back to it. Now that I've caught up, it's clear not much has changed. Oh, really? This is back in October 2019, apparently. Which is interesting. It's dated October 2019. Here's another one from Nina Jankowicz. Last week, Facebook announced positive changes it is making to the platform ahead of the 2020 election. So clearly this is in the past. Okay. Increased page transparency and more aggressive labeling of misleading content are two moves I think are really important and overdue. So that's all I'm going to read about her tweets here. But let's continue on here. Left-wing groups have pushed for boycotts of Breitbart News since Donald Trump was elected in 2016. And efforts to silence independent conservative outlets continue in Congress, notably in the Journalist Competition and Preservation Act, acronym JCPA. Jankowicz also suggested that Breitbart News repeated, quote, Russian state-sponsored media, end quote, in her 2020 book, How to Lose the Information War, Russia, Fake News, and the Future of Conflict. She provided no evidence in the book for her claim. So that's the end of that article right there. You can look that article up in the description box below and read it on your own free time. But here's the deal, folks. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised the least bit about this, that someone like this, a far leftist, left-wing person, someone like this would be wanting to have Facebook censor Breitbart, you know, out from them. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But let me say this. What people got to understand about the left, and particularly radical left, okay? It's not that they just want to censor conservative voices. It's not just that they want to shut the mouths of conservative voices. They want to shut the mouths of anyone that disagrees with their agenda, which means that people on the left, the regulars, the normies, as my boy Anthony Brown Logan called them, the normies, the 9-to-5ers, okay, that vote for these people and put them in office and support the leftist agenda, they think that the left loves them, that the left is concerned about them, that the left is all rah, rah, rah. No, 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 no. The left does not believe in moral values. They don't embrace the concept of right and wrong. They don't believe in a God. They don't believe in a lot of the things that people in America believe in, they don't believe in. It's them that believe in these far leftist agenda movements, and it's their activist groups that are highly paid, that are trying to push this stuff on the mainstream mindset of millions of Americans all over this country. These people that vote and support these leftist politicians and leftist leaders fail to realize that the minute you step out of line and begin to say anything that is opposite of their agenda, they're coming after you. When you see, I'll give you an example of the fact that the left don't care about people that vote for them or support them. Anybody on the conservative side, let's make it something. If anybody on the conservative side, somebody decides that they no longer want to be a conservative, or they no longer want to be in the Republican field, or conservative to make it more specific, and they leave the conservative realm, if you will, okay? I haven't seen any, put it in the description box below if there has been, but I haven't heard nor seen anyone on the right attacking the character of someone who decided to no longer be on the conservative side and decided to either become independent or merge to the left. I have never seen anyone on the conservative side that have dogged them out, disrespected them, tried to destroy their career, tried to destroy their reputation, or any of that. But anytime you're on the left and you either merely say something that contradicts their agenda or their narrative, they're all on you like flies on doo-doo. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I know that's the truth. I know it's a fact. I see it all the time. And that just goes to show you there's no love in the radical left's heart. They have an agenda, and that agenda is to destroy America and rebuild it again into a socialist country that will merge with the United Nations, that will once again push their global socialist government. See, this is no longer a conspiracy theory, and that's why they want to silence people on the internet. They want to silence, the government wants us, the leftist government wants to silence people on the internet, because now things that were considered to be a conspiracy theory decades ago is no longer considered to be a conspiracy theory. Why? It's because people are finding out on the internet that something just ain't right. They're looking at commendable YouTube channels and commendable Facebook posts and commendable social media outlets that give accurate, stimulating information that shows them another side to the whole spectrum, if you will. And they're seeing this and they're hearing this and they're like, wait a minute, something just ain't right. And I'm hearing it a lot with people on my job. The only ones I don't hear that much with is people that just don't, they're just so messed up under mind control. They don't care. But going back to this Nina Walker, this whatever her name is, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. See what they're doing. We got to understand about the far left and the left and the far left in particular. The left and the far left are soft forms of communism. They're soft forms of communism, and if you study any kind of history concerning communism in countries like the old China, when I mean the old China, I mean like from the 1940s and the 1960s, under communist Mao Zedong, I think his name is, or Russia, communist Russia, or communist Cuba, or communist North. You know, when you study all of these communist regimes in the past, you will find out a similar pattern when it comes to free speech. One of the things that these communist countries would attack would be the so-called free speech of its inhabitants. Why? Because anyone that spoke against their agenda or their worldview would be either lined up and shot or put in jail, or put in gulages. I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Or put in re-education camps. Okay, and they did it through violent means. In America and in the West, they're doing it through softer means. They're doing it through more manipulation and permeation over the course of time. See, that's how they're doing it now. They're doing it slow. See, it's the same concept, the same worldview, communism, okay? But it's just done in a more quieter way. And the real push in America is socialism. That's what you're hearing a lot. Socialism, 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 socialism. Socialism is the stepping stone to communism. Don't think for once that socialism is the best thing to go. That is not. That Lenin, read the book of Lenin. Lenin said himself, and he was one of the main architects of the old violent form of communism. And he said socialism is a stepping stone to communism. And particularly when you're trying to push communism in the West and in America in particular, the vast majority of American people are not going to support it. But socialism, they'll support that because they've been conditioned by the school systems and the mainstream leftist media and leftist politicians to support socialism because it's a soft form. It sounds recommendable. It sounds real cool. It sounds loving. It sounds kind. It sounds gentle. That's how the devil will come. The devil don't come with you with a pitchfork and horns. He comes with you with a briefcase and a three-piece suit saying, I got all the answers for your problems. That's what socialism is. It's a ruse. It's a trick to get the people to accept the agenda. And this person here, this woman here wants to lobbying Facebook to censor these dissenting voices and conservative voices. It's right in your face. It's right in our face. It's not a conspiracy theory. Not a conspiracy theory. It's right in our face. And these liberals and these far leftist liberals are becoming more and more brazen and more aggressive in their push. Because I think, in my opinion, they're losing ground. They're scared. The midterm elections coming up. They know they're going to lose ground on different fronts. And they're terrified. They have to stop these dissenting voices. They have to stop the people that have just a mere different opinion. They got to stop that. Clearly, because the people that have a different opinion, their worldview is different than the left's worldview. And the left's worldview is the destructive worldview, in my opinion. So that's what I wanted to say about that, man. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. What do you guys think about the article I just read to you? What do you think about this whole idea of this lady trying to get Facebook to censor Breitbart and censor conservative voices? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God bless you all, and see you again.